Hey everyone, welcome back to another food and travel adventure. I'm just back from my second solo trip to Kannur and I'm so excited to share my experience with you. Watch till the end for budget food and travel tips. I traveled from Mangalore to Kannur by Vande Bharat Express. You can get the AC chair car for Rs 529 on the IRCTC website and save money on travel. Executive chair will cost you double the price. The seat was spacious and the legroom was good. They provided complimentary drinking water, newspaper, snacks, and tea. I reached Kannur in just 1 hour 30 minutes. The journey was quick and comfortable. This is the best option if you want to save time on travel. If you want to get to the hotel from the railway station, transportation is available at the entrance. You can get an auto or travel by bus. If you don't know the local language, you can talk to locals using Google Maps. Kannur is safe for female solo travelers and the locals were very helpful. I left my luggage at the hotel and headed out for breakfast. You can try authentic Kerala style food at Prema Cafe, a place which is very popular among locals in Kannur. The cafe was clean and spacious. I had idiyappam and appam with mutton stew. Loved the food here. The gravy was light and delicately spiced, plus the quantity was good, all at budget friendly prices. The total bill was 259. Next, I headed to St. Angelo's Fort by auto. The minimum auto fare here is Rs 30. There is ample parking space if you're getting your own vehicle. The entry ticket costs Rs 25 for Indians. Let's explore St. Angelo's Fort. It is a historical triangular fort built by the Portuguese in 1505, a protected monument by the Archaeological Survey of India. It is located right next to the Arabian Sea and offers panoramic views. The fort grounds are well maintained with large trees, creating a tranquil atmosphere. You can relax here and enjoy walks in nature. You can explore laterite stone construction at St. Angelo's Fort with Portuguese and Dutch influence. It is better to visit the fort after 4 pm to escape the heat. St. Angelo's Fort is the perfect spot for sunset watching, with historical spots, nature, and intricate corners for photos and leisurely walks. The fort structures are made of laterite stone. You can see cannons, ammunition houses, underground chambers, and even old prison rooms. St. Angelo's Fort is about 3 kilometers from Kannur town, making it easy to visit. After exploring the fort, it was almost time to check in. I had booked a room at Orionis Hotel, which is located close to Kannur railway station. It cost me Rs 1680 per night on Agoda. They offered early check-in at 11:30 am. The room was clean, spacious and well lit with hot water facility. Next, I grabbed lunch at Odain restaurant. I highly recommend this place if you want to try authentic Kerala style meals and seafood. I got meals at Rs 70, kalumakkai fry at 260 and paisam at 25. My next plan was to visit Talasheri, a nearby district that's famous for biryani, beaches and historic spots. I got there by express bus at Rs 30. The best time to visit Talasheri is in the morning and evening. In the afternoon, it is usually too hot and humid. I got down near Talasheri beach and went walking to Talasheri Fort, which is just a few meters away from the bus stand. The fort was built back in 1708 by the British East India Company. Over 300 years ago, the British were here mainly for trade, especially spices like pepper, and this fort helped them protect their control over the area. If you look closely, the walls are really thick, made of laterite stone, which works perfectly in Kerala's weather. You'll also notice the square bastions and narrow entrances. Everything here was designed with defense in mind. Cannons used to be placed all around the fort, watching every direction. Talasheri Drive-In Beach is one of the chillest spots around here. You can get here by auto or taxi. What makes it special is that you can actually drive your vehicle almost right up to the beach, which is pretty rare in Kerala. You usually see people hanging out, having snacks, or just sitting and watching the waves. Evenings are the best time to come here, especially during sunset. The vibe is very laid back, not too crowded, not too touristy. Perfect if you just want to relax, take a walk, or end your day by the beach. If you're in Talasheri, this is definitely a spot worth stopping by. I left the beach after sunset. It was a little hard to find transportation to the nearest bus stop. I walked halfway and got an auto and a bus back to Kannur. Managed to reach there in 20 minutes. Once I reached back Kannur, I headed to Randal for dinner. My friends recommended this place and I loved it. Both the food and ambience was so good. I had beef roast with nool parota and buttermilk. The meat was so tender and juicy. It was a short 2-day weekend trip to Kannur, so I tried to visit as many places as possible. I started off day 2 with breakfast at Ananda Bhavan, one of the most popular restaurants in Kannur. You can try Malabar style delicacies here. I got dosa with fish curry at Rs 143. The fish was so fresh and delicious. I enjoyed the food here. Next, I headed to Arakkal Museum by auto. The museum is open from 10 am to 5 pm, from Tuesday to Sunday. It is closed on Mondays. The entry ticket costs Rs 20 per head and Rs 30 for mobile camera. Walking into the Arakkal Museum in Kannur feels like stepping into history. This was once the palace of the Arakkal family. As you walk through the wooden corridors and old stone walls, there is this calm vibe that makes you slow down. Room by room, you spot royal artifacts, handwritten documents, old coins, swords, furniture, and portraits that tell stories of the Arakkal Bivis and their connection to trade, power, and the sea. While you explore the Arakkal Museum, one of the highlights is the collection of paintings and portraits on display. They mainly focus on the Arakkal rulers and important moments from their past. What I like is how these paintings make the stories easier to imagine. Some of the most striking pieces are depictions of historical figures tied to the dynasty's maritime and diplomatic life. By the time I finished exploring the museum, the weather was damn hot outside, so I relaxed here for a bit and checked out some restaurants for lunch. After checking out a couple of places, I finally decided to try Hotel Kartika. Finding a table here can be tricky, so reach a little early to skip the queue. I wanted to get biryani but ended up having seafood chattichoru instead. They served it in an earthen pot with boiled rice, searfish, prawns, squid, mackerel and sardines, together with veg palya, pickle, fried egg, papad and veg sides. The seafood chattichoru and kalumakai fry cost Rs 250 each. Next, I got some local snacks from Sheen Bakery, which is located opposite Kannur railway station. I've listed the must-try items in the description for you. After getting some local sweets, it was time to head back to Mangalore by the Parusaram Express. I booked the AC chair car at Rs 294 on IRCTC. I had a wonderful time in Kannur, such a lovely place with the best food and people. Check the description for all the must-visit places in Kannur and Talasheri. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more travel and food recommendations. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.